Alright, good morning guys. It's Sunday. Got all my stuff done that I needed to get done for the weekend, so we're back on the F-350 pickup, getting ready to prime. So here we go. Everything's been filled. These dents down here all filled. Scuffed down. Got some foam tape in the gas door. Probably should take that off, but that's where we're going with this one. She's got etch primer all over the bare metal spots that were up here that we had to feather out, and the bare metal by my bodywork. And we got some dingers down there that got filled. And we had one right there, and a little bit of garbage down there by the tailpipe. And this is all ready to go, so I'm going to give her a quick one last scuff down and wipe down, and we're going to get some high build on the body work, and then we're going to seal her up and shoot her. Got the truck bagged. We're ready to go on this, almost, to make sure I don't have any more little peeling paint spots that pop up on me. And then I was talking the other day about the panel beater stud welder machine that was given to me right here. I thought the charger didn't work on it, took it apart, couldn't seem to find anything wrong with that. The battery that was in it, I put it on the booster for a while, it would not take a charge. So I went and grabbed another battery. It takes like a Group 31 truck battery, just a great big battery in there. Replaced the battery, and I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it works. I tested it out on some scrap sheet metal I had laying around, and it welds the electrode pin on it just fine. I do need to get the little lever that you slide under this handle to use to pry on. I mean, you can pull it with the handle, but other than that, you almost need, for a little bit bigger dents, you need that lever, pry bar, whatever you want to call it. Just not sure where to get them except from direct from the manufacturer, so if anybody's got any input on that, I'd like to get one of those. I even tested it out. It welds draw pins just fine, but other than that, that thing's working. So quick update on that. And I also got this. We have a tripod now, so hopefully not too much more shaky cam. I can get you guys a good visual of what's going on. So I'll be back. We're getting ready to mix up some primer. We've got our high build urethane 2K primer, gray primer. Those of you guys doing this at home don't have a mixing bank, you can still use these lids. You just don't put the little adapter on it. You can chuck your rechargeable drill into it and mix them up that way. Works pretty good. They have these at the body shop supply store. Sometimes they'll sell them to you, sometimes they won't. You can get them online. eBay has them. I've seen them. They're about 10 bucks a piece, and they make them for the quarts and the gallons. And for those of you guys who don't mind the mess, keep pouring out of a gallon. I'd rather pour out of this with the nice retractable pour spout. So we're going to mix that up, and we got our paint. Over here we have Code Z1 Oxford White Ford color. I said to you guys the truck has been painted before, and that's a pretty close match to what's on it. It matches the original that's inside the door jambs a heck of a lot better, and it matches the rest of the truck. So for a box side, it'll be a butt match. It didn't look like it'd be too awfully bad. It's a little bit brighter, but I'm also not sure. Once I get a little bit of dark primer underneath it, the original primer was white, not gray, and whoever painted the box sides the last time, there was gray primer all over it. So I'm going to go with the gray to hopefully match what's already on there. So after we get that high build on, we're going to throw some black guide coat. You can also buy cheap rattle can lacquer paint. You just sort of fog that over it, and before you start sanding, and then once all that color is sanded off with the 400 or 500, wherever you're going, this is not a metallic, so I'm not going to go 600 or 800 grit on that. So we're going to put that on there and get going. I'll be back. Alright guys, we're getting ready to put the last coat of primer on this truck. Got all the bodywork stuff has got 2 coats on it already, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and put a 3rd on all that stuff. Some of this stuff still has a bunch of sand scratches in it, and I want to make sure I get all this up here where I feathered it out, get that real nice. Using mine to build this finish line with a 1.8 tip in it. Runs about 8 pounds of the cap on this primer. 6 is a little low, but it doesn't make a whole lot of overspray. It lays down pretty nice, so we're going to mask up and get her done. guys, here's what we got. She's gray. She's got 3 coats of high build primer, stem to stern on that bed. Hopefully that'll take care of all the sand scratch marks and all the trash that was in it before. I sanded it with 240 before I started. Was going to use 220, but shop didn't have any 220, so we used 240. But there we go. Driver's side, where the majority of the repair was, looks pretty good. It turned out pretty nice. I don't see any bumps or waves or anything like that. It felt good before I put the primer on it. If there's any body line minor misalignment, like on those wheel arches, I can probably straighten it out with the 4 coats of primer that are on that. But passenger side, I got a couple pinholes. I don't know if you guys can see those, but I'll have to doctor those up real quick before I seal it. So I'll take you guys in here and we'll get the gun cleaned up. I was able to get it pretty warm in the shop here today. We had another, I wouldn't say warm day, but it was 40. So 40 is better than 0. This primer gun, this Finish Line FLG3, used to be my top coat gun back in the day, before I was able to afford to get a new gun. So we'll get some lacquer thinner in it here. Ready to get ready for the next job. Some pretty thick stuff. I like it. It works real good. It takes a little bit of extra work to get it cleaned out of the gun, but as long as it comes out, you're going to sand it anyway. This gun leaves a halfway decent finish, but the reason I replaced it, I didn't care for the way that the thing laid out clear. I know a lot of guys out there are using cheaper guns than this and doing a better job than me, but I seem to be one of those guys that I just needed something a little better off to fit whatever my painting style was. I just couldn't get accustomed to it. This gun taught me how to wet, sand, and buff, we'll put it that way. So, but live and learn. I mean, it lays out a pretty decent finish. It's an okay base coat gun. It's an okay single stage gun. But anymore, it's dedicated to being my full-time primer bomb gun. It works pretty good with that. I painted a lot of stuff with this. Anybody who caught the video from the other day was talking a little bit about painting my 23-foot Rinker boat, and this was the gun I had just purchased the winter before I painted that, and it laid that one down all right. I've got 3 different tips where I think I've got a 1.3, a 1.5, and then this 1.8 hoser tip, which does exactly what it needs to do with primer. You could probably use it for a sealer gun too. I may use it to seal tomorrow, I don't know. I don't like getting sealer and stuff like that in my top coat gun. I've got a SATA 3000 HVLP, which it lays base down and color matches it pretty nice. It just doesn't have quite the oomph to break the high solids clear up, at least for the way I paint. I'm not quite used to it. I haven't painted hundreds of cars with it yet, or even 30 cars with it. I probably painted 6 or 8 vehicles with it, and they were all spot jobs, nothing that was a good test of what it would be capable of. Almost time to get some more lacquer thinner. My little jug's about empty. So anyways, guys, finish getting this cleaned up, and then I'm going home because that's going to need to set overnight before I can do any sanding on that. We're going to hit that with like I said, some probably 400 or 500 tomorrow. Make sure I don't have any major goobers in it. I saw a bug of some sort land in it, but hey, that's primer. I can deal with that. A piece of 400 will knock him right out of it. So we'll get that done, and I don't know, I may put some color on it tomorrow. I got some other work to do. Still isn't snowing here in northern Ohio. Probably isn't snowing for anybody else either. Not quite sure what's going on with that, but that's where we're at with that. So have a good one, guys, and I'll get back to you when we're ready to put some color on this, or maybe probably when I get ready to sand it, we'll get back on it. So hope you enjoyed, and have a good weekend. Later.